Hello everyone and welcome back to the first video in our F125 setup Hotlap guides. Yes, we're back today here in the land down under at Albert Park, Australia. First and foremost, I love the fact this race is back in round 1. But of course, throughout this series, my goal is to hopefully help you guys, number 1, learn what to do with your setups inside the F1 games. Number 2, how you can try and learn to race with no braking line or any assist like that inside the game. And last but not least, build up a bit more confidence and a bit more fun. Perhaps you've always wanted to try league racing but didn't know where to start. Perhaps you just want to race, better AI inside your career modes as well. So yeah, within this series, we head to each track individually. We really kind of try and break down what you want to be aiming for around the circuit. And then also I show you a setup as well that I use to obviously run in these videos and obviously also in career mode and everything else. So if that sounds good, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We're trying to hit 15,000 subs inside the channel. Now, these first videos are going to be kind of more beginner friendly, beginner focused, but then I'm planning on trying to go back through all of the circuits, perhaps showing you some more advanced setups and things like that as well inside the game. I made a couple of tweaks and changes for this series inside F125, so you'll see now we have got a throttle telemetry and steering telemetry inside the game as well, which hopefully is going to be an extra tool for you guys to kind of use and kind of emulate yourself if you're interested as well. But yeah, F125, a very, very different game to F124 when it comes to its basic handling model and everything like that. But without further ado, let's head down to the circuit then, and I'll talk you through a lap here of Albert Park. But of course, the Melbourne circuit has seen a huge update inside F125. The curbs have been completely rechanged. The circuit has seen a new scan as well, which I think they've done a really, really good job of it inside the all-new game. Of course, as you make your way down the start-finish straight, you're going to be in 8th gear. You want to keep the car over on the left-hand side of the circuit as we make our way down in towards turn 1. Now, a lot of this track is all about the black boxes on the corners. Those are a lot of your reference points. And for turn 1, you want to be braking pretty much on, if not slightly after the black box there, before the 100-meter board. You're going to be down into 5th gear, ready for the first corner, and you really want to try and make sure you get as much of the car over that inside curb as you possibly can. The track limits into turn 1 aren't the best in the world. You can actually get away with kind of getting the outside wheel right over the yellow line as well, but making sure that you're carrying the speed, flick the car through the left and then over onto the right hand, flick the car through the right and then over onto the left hand side on the exit. You want to be making sure that again you've got the inside wheels up over the curb as well. By the time you make your way through the exit of the corner, you're going to be up cycling through 6th and 7th gear, and then make sure you open the DRS as well. Be careful of the wall on the outside, but you want to again get those right hand side wheels out over the curbing and then bring them back in before the grass, of course, on the run between turn 2 and turn 3. Now, there's actually a bit of a ridge inside F125, pretty much exactly along this white line where either side of the circuit kind of slowly raises up to the middle. So just be careful because the car will bottom out just a little bit there. Again, as you make your way down in towards turn 3, you want to be braking just before the black box. I say about 80 meters out from the corner, all the way down from 8th gear. I'm bringing the car down into 3rd, but you can use 2nd gear as well, just to give yourself a little bit of extra rotation. Avoid the entry curb there. Don't run too wide though through the exit, as you want to be trying to get the car back over to the right hand side, ready for turn 4. Again, turning in just before that marker board, you'll notice on our hot lap, we try and keep about 70% throttle through the corner there. Leave it in 4th though until you get out past this curb, and then you want to be going full throttle and up into 5th gear there. Through this next corner, not really much of a corner inside this game. Avoid the inside curb though, as it will cost you momentum. And again, be very, very careful on the exit. It feels a lot narrower than it did inside F124 as well. So you've really just got to try and make sure that you get the car dialed in. As you make your way down, though, in towards Sector 2, you're going to be up in 7th gear. Just try to bring the car back over to the left, down 1 gear as you hit the 50-meter board there. Try and get the car on that inside curbing. It's a really, really fast flick through. Use all of the extra kind of Astro on the outside, and then now you make your way out onto the back straight. That admittedly isn't very straight. Try to use the line of least resistance So you're going to be up in 7th. And then, of course, 8th gear by the time that you get down this back straight there. Open up the DRS for the 3rd of 4 DRS zones around this lap. Bring the car over to the left-hand side, of course, as you make your way, you know, your arc round through this very flat-out Sector 2. And then slowly bring the car out to the right-hand side wall. Again, you're going to be looking just after the black box. Down 1 gear, get the car rotated through. I find I'm trying to avoid the inside curb through the first part, and then really trying to attack it through the second. Avoid that exit curb as well. It is very, very bumpy. And then you're going to be back into 8th gear once again. Then down now in towards the final sector of the lap. So far, pretty much everything has been very high speed. But as you make your way down, you want to brake just after the 100-meter board on the outside. Avoid the circuit as it kind of slowly arcs into the right. Avoid that entry curb. Try to avoid the exit curb as well. 3rd gear there on the exit of the corner. And then you're going to be up through 4th, 5th, and then into 6th gear as well. In qualifying trim, this 3rd last corner completely flat out. In race trim, you're going to be blending out of the throttle ever so slightly. Bring the car back over to the right-hand side, though. And this penultimate corner, I absolutely hate. I cannot kind of explain to you guys how many laps I ruined trying to get the hot lap in around this circuit, because the black box is far too late. That gantry far too early, so you want to be braking somewhere kind of in the middle of them. I've been trying to use that kind of megaphone speaker that you can see on the right hand side, but it's really, really difficult to spot. So I'm just kind of trying to brake after the gantry. Nice and tidy, obviously straight line braking as best as you can. Avoid locking up the front inside wheel. 2nd gear through this penultimate corner. Don't let the car run wide. Keep it hugged over on the left-hand side there as you go up through 3rd and 4th gear, and then try and just bury the throttle through the final corner. You will have to be a little bit careful trying to get the power down, and as we make our way then out of the final turn, we are back to the start-finish line. Albert Park, it's a really low downforce circuit, but a couple of the corners here will catch you out. It's also a circuit where you've got to be really, really careful on the throttle as well on corner exit, because, yeah, it will just snap round on you. But again, it's a circuit as well that if you get it hooked up, it is so satisfying to drive as well there. So it is really good fun and really rewarding. Let's head, though, back to the pit lane, and I'll talk you guys through the setup. Well, here we are then, back in the pits. You can see, obviously, the setup. You can't do anything with the fuel, of course, inside this game. 2315 wing. Again, it seems like F125, there is a lot of emphasis on higher front wing, slightly lower rear wing, but it definitely seems like you can get away with some slightly more aggressive presets than we saw inside F124. Transmission, 75% differential on throttle, 45% off throttle. That, again, will allow the car to kind of slide as you're getting onto the throttle, but will allow it just not to kind of rotate around as much beneath you when you're off throttle. So, for example, as you head into Sector 3, that really fast turn 9-10 chicane, it just stops the car from kind of over-rotating too much through the exit there. But, of course, through, like, the exit of Turn 2 and those final couple of corners, it allows you to get on the throttle, but allowing the wheels to spin independently as well there. Minus 3.5, minus 2.0, no front toe, and 0.1 degrees of rear toe. Again, that seems like it's going to be a lot more of the meta inside F125, is those really extreme setup presets inside the game. 41 front suspension, 1 rear suspension, 1 front anti-roll bar, and 3 rear anti-roll bar. Again, we're seeing some very, very excessive or kind of aggressive presets early on inside F125. 21 front ride height, 48 rear. I would say if you're struggling with the curbs, you can afford to up these to like 25 and 51 if you're really struggling with it, but I would kind of slowly move them up and kind of see when you find a good balance over the curbs, of course. The lower you run the ride height inside the game, the quicker you will be down in a straight line. But of course, as always, why would you kind of compromise having an extra half a mile an hour in a straight line if you're bouncing out all over the curbs and really getting unsettled if you're trying to do a race? Of course, remember, it's not about out-and-out pace. It is about being consistent over a race stint. That is where you will find the time. 54% front brake bias, 100% brake pressure. Again, in race trim, I might find myself dropping that down to about 98, and then the front brake bias to 55. It just stops rear locking a little bit more as well, because they can be lethal inside this game, especially, you know, if you're in career mode and you've got quite a weak car early on as well. Maximum front tyre pressure, minimum rear tyre pressure. Again, again, that is about trying to focus on getting the traction down off of the corners. But again, the front end, you want it to be really, really sharp and responsive. You know, going out onto the back straight, for example, it can be really, really tricky as well. So by having those front tyres really pumped up, you can obviously then have a little bit more responsiveness, but at the compromise of potentially some obviously tyre kind of wear as well throughout a race stint. So maybe if you're struggling with tyre wear, bring those front tyres down a little bit. Bring the rears up to about 21 as well, and you'll have a good balance ready for a race stint. But yeah, there we go then. That is going to be our circuit guide here from Albert Park, Australia. Of course, in terms of race strategy, it's going to be a one-stop. I think every circuit inside this game is likely going to be a one-stop, but you are going to be wanting to use the mediums, taking those to about lap 12, or lap 13, and then taking a set of hard compound tyres right the way through to the end of a Grand Prix. If you're doing a 50% race, of course, if you're doing 100, you want to be taking the mediums to about lap 25, and then the hards to the end of the GP as well. But yeah, hopefully this video has helped you out. Let me know kind of your thoughts and feelings as well down in the comments below, whether there's anything else you'd really like to see me do with these videos. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with a hot lap then here of Albert Park, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow ready in Shanghai.